Dialogue is a critical element of characterisation. No matter how much research I do beforehand when creating characters for my novels, they don't come alive until I start putting dialogue into their mouths and they begin to interact with other characters. Dialogue is there to give life to your characters. Writing believable dialogue, though, in fiction is a long way from real life dialogue, which is peppered with lots of ers, ums, basically, you know, and all those sort of superfluous fillers. If they're used in a novel or a short story, these fillers only serve to slow the flow of the novel and frustrate the reader. So be ruthless and cut them out. Dialogue helps to move the plot forward, and it also imparts necessary information. It helps to break up the narrative and improves the look on the page. It can also add speed, depth and emotion to a passage, but it must be there for a reason, to create and to develop the scene. So examine your passages of narrative and ask, can this be told in a dialogue? There are also alternatives to using said. For example, you can use snapped, sniped, chanted, mused, exclaimed, lots of different expressions, but be careful not to overload them because then that sounds false. Only ask if they're really necessary. Bits of action tacked on to speech can also help, and you don't have to name the character who is speaking after every line of dialogue. In some passages it will be obvious, but ensure that when a new speaker is speaking that you start each bit of dialogue on a new line so as not to confuse the reader. You can also add names into the dialogue so that the reader can understand who is speaking. And here is an example of how that is used. So there you have it, writing realistic dialogue.